production of hybrid influenza virus vaccine containing HA of H3N2 and H1N1 که در ابتدای سخنرانی آقای دکتر شناگره است. بفرمایید.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, it's a great pleasure to be here with you. The topic of my presentation is a novel approach for production of chimeric influenza virus vaccine containing HA of H1N1 and H3N2 virus. I have divided my presentation to 3 sections. At the first one, I'm going to speak about the virusome concept. Then we will have a discussion about optimization of cell culture in order to get high yield of influenza virus. And finally, we take a look at the construction of virusome vaccine. As pointed Dr. Shinagari, virusome are only virus-like particles that assembled in vitro, but in contrast to virus-like particle produced in eukaryotic cells, they don't express in eukaryotic cell, and they just produce in vitro. Influenza virusome mimic the natural antigen presentation of the influenza virus, so they can stimulate both humoral and cellular immunity. Virusome retain their fusinic activity and thus deliver the incorporated compounds, antigens, drug, genes, so they are good platform or vehicle for gene delivery or drug delivery. In order to construction of virusome, the first step was optimization of cell culture in order to get high yield of influenza virus. For doing so, the first step for cultivating any virus is a optimization of multiplicity of infection. The multiplicity of infection is the ratio of infected virus to the number of infected cells. As you can see here, this is the plaque forming assay for influenza virus. After understanding the amount of influenza virus, in order to understand the switching of influenza virus from transcription to replication, we stained nucleoprotein of influenza virus with immunofluorescent staining. MP is likely to be the major switching factor from transcription to replication. In order to monitor virus shedding in a supernatant, the hemagglutination assay and TCID50 or CCID50 was done. As you can see here, the hemagglutination assay, the end dilution create complete hemagglutination was taken as end point, and it is expressed hemagglutination unit. Approximately, hemagglutination unit is equal to 6 log of virus, infectious or non-infectious. TCID50 calculated by Carver method, and the L, and here the L is the lowest logarithm of viruses. This distance between logarithm and S is the summation of cytopathic effect. From the above mentioned PowerPoint, we get this result. The best MOI for infection of cell with influenza virus is MOI 1000, and the best time for harvesting of virus from supernatant is 72 post-infection. Because we need virus in a large scale, after optimization of cell in T-flux, we transfer this technology to microcarrier. Microcarrier is a support matrix allowing for the growth of adherent cell in bioreactor. Microcarrier are typically between 125 and 250 micrometers, and they can be made from a number of different materials such as dextran and glass. We use the Cytodex1 in this research. The main step of influenza-based virusome construction are as follows, and I will be discussed in detail about each step. The first step was production of influenza virus in MDCK and MDCK cell on microcarrier in spinner flask. As you know, microcarrier cell culture is typically carried out in a spinner flask. The low density of microcarrier allowed for the suspension of the microcarrier on the steric spinner. After the cultivation on large scale, the next step was clarification. Because microcarrier damage filtration system, before filtration, it's necessary to clarify the supernatant. For clarification, we used centrifugation, and then we used ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration is a system for concentration of viruses, and the cutoff we used was 10 kilodalton. Subsequently, after the concentration of virus, the sucrose gradient ultracentrifuges have been done, and purified virus harvest from the interface of two-layer sucrose. After harvesting of purified influenza virus, the total protein of virus is measured by Lori assay, and then virus segmented by ultracentrifusion and result in herpes buffer. In order to disassemble the virus envelope, we used detergent like phospholipid, DCPC. We add DCPC to the segmented virus, and this mix incubated for 30 minutes in 4 centigrades. After incubation with detergent, the nucleoprotein or nucleocapsid is separated and removed by ultracentrifugation. And in order to remove the detergent, the crude virusome is dialysed against HPS buffer overnight at 4 centigrade. As you can see here, we constructed 3 kinds of virusome. The first one was H1N1 virusome. The second one is H3N2 virusome. And the third one is chimeric virusome composed of H1 and H3. In order to conform the structure of virusome, we used capture ELISA, Western blotting, STS-page, and HA. In order to assay the infectivity of virusome, we transfected Barrow cells and MDCK cells with 5 micrograms of virusome, and there was no observable cytopathic effect after 24 hours. At the end, that's all about my presentations. At the end, I would like to thank to all the people involved during this thesis, and especially Dr. Khairi, the head of influenza unit in Institute Pasteur, Dr. Suleyman Jahi, associate professor of Tarbiyat Madaris University, and Dr. Jamali, the assistant professor of influenza unit in Pasteur Institute, and all of them I collaborate. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
At the end of this session, we will have time to have some questions.
Okay.
After all.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the